Turkey, it is now engaged in direct combat with ISIL. Also, hundreds of suspected ISIL militants and members of pro-Kurdish militant groups are under arrest. CCTV's Mahal Bardavid reports from Istanbul.
The unprecedented Turkish airstrikes carried out by F-16 jets targeted two Islamic State command centers and an ISIL gathering point in Syria. The military emphasized it had not violated Syria's airspace during the attack. The military strike was codenamed Operation Yalçın Nane after the Turkish officer was killed by Islamic State militants on July 23rd during the terror group's first clash with the Turkish army at the border province of Kilis. That battle is seen as a turning point in the fight against ISIL. Turkish President Tayyip Erdoğan signaled more is yet to come.
Bu sadece bu geceye yönelik bir operasyon değildir.
This operation was not a one-time hit. From now on, it will continue steadily. The targets are set. Their names are insignificant. We will target all terrorist organizations.
Turkey has been under pressure to step up its efforts against ISIL, but the Turkish government had been reluctant to join US-led coalition efforts. With Syria's violence now spilling into Turkey, that calculation seems to have changed.
The Syrian crisis has been going on for 4 years. Turkey did not and will not get involved in this war. However, if Turkey faces a threat itself, then taking all the necessary precautions is within our international rights.
As part of the terror crackdown, Turkish police also launched ground raids across the country on Friday, targeting ISIL and the Kurdistan Workers' Party, or PKK. 297 people were arrested, 37 of them said to be foreigners. Monday's suicide attack in southeastern Turkey that killed 32 people was followed by a series of smaller deadly attacks carried out by both ISIL and the PKK. With this as a backdrop, Turkey finally agreed this week to allow the U.S. to conduct airstrikes against ISIL from the Incirlik air base located close to the Syrian border. President Erdoğan confirmed the deal on Friday. As operations in the air and on the ground are set to continue, many in Turkey fear the violence yet to come. Mahal Bardavid, CCTV, Istanbul.
Pilots have been carrying out airstrikes against Islamic State militants in Syria without Parliament's authorization. The revelation came as a result of a Freedom of Information request by human rights group Reprieve. RT Tennis's Sir Chirkin is picking up
use
the
the SAS against Islamic State, which does mean special forces. They're not going to stop ISIS, I have to say. I mean, you know, ISIS is, unfortunately, has got control of a tranche of territory. It's got heavy weapons. You know, limited numbers of special forces aren't going to shift this. He's also saying they're going to carry out drone attacks, which, of course, means civilian casualties, as we know, which again plays into the hands of ISIS. The truth is, the West, you know, Britain, America, all the rest of them, have no coherent...
U.S. Army, Texas National Guard at Camp Swift. Like I said, we've never been here before, so we're not sure if this is normal or typical, and there's the big red flag. I'm not a vet, so some of this might mean more to you vets.
And that's supposed to be a warning.
Well, friends, Jade Helm is firmly underway, and just yesterday, investigator Derek Brose drove right into the center of the very camp holding the drills to get a closer look. Now, if he'd gone in today, he'd probably been met with considerable resistance considering the shooting of the 4 Marines in Chattanooga. Now, if you haven't seen his video, I'll link to it in the description, but here's something that just hit on the very same day that Jade Helm began, and we need to put it in perspective. Only about 1,500 soldiers are participating in Jade Helm, but this October, over 36,000 troops from more than 30 countries will be gearing up for what NATO calls its largest exercise in over a decade. It's called Trident Juncture.
This is a briefing about Trident Juncture 2015. We thought it's a good opportunity to start early to brief you on an important exercise that will take place this autumn. In fact, it will be NATO's biggest exercise in over a decade. And we have 2 senior military officials to provide more details and to answer any questions. And they are happy to go into detail on the name, the scenario, the locations, the participations, and the reach of the exercise.
According to the Russian state-sponsored media outlet Russia Today, NATO's focus is a threat from ISIS. While Russia has been invited to observe the massive exercises that mimic a coordinated threat matrix from air, land, and sea. It does seem odd that such a massive exercise would focus on ISIS, while NATO's Jens Stoltenberg has clearly stated on multiple occasions that Russia is the growing threat. As we've reported here, NATO has been conducting large-scale exercises all year, and historic-scale exercises have been conducted on U.S. soil, including Jade Helm. While all this is happening, Americans are distracted by calls from the NAACP to sandblast Confederate monuments on a mountainside in Georgia. Memphis votes to dig up Confederate corpses, and state legislators waste tax dollars on removing flags. And if that's not enough of a distraction, the 2016 presidential election looks like a three-ring circus act with Republicans exiting a clown car as Hillary cracks her whip. No one in the corporate media seems to mention these exercises, even as 12,000 Russian troops with 250 aircraft prepare their own massive exercises in September called Center 2015. The international game of chicken is undoubtedly underway. Both sides know that the fiat banking economy can no longer sustain the amount of printed money in circulation. The house of cards is about to be blown away. The only question remaining is who will pick up the pieces, and I'll leave that up to you in the comments section below. And remember,